identity scams, but they are also at risk of encountering inappropriate and potentially disturbing content. I am Police Cadet 80 Jamara Rule, reminding you that safety is everybody's business. So let us do our part and continue to create safer communities.
Your #1 team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
And that is going to do it for us here in the North. I'm Ramiko Knowles.
And I'm Jay Philippe.
Thanks so much for tuning in. The Bahamas Tonight is coming your way next.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
Right now at 11, the Davis administration said to borrow millions for Phase 2 of the Water Supply Improvement Project. An early morning fire destroys several businesses at a North Andros fish fry site. But first, more tonight from the Prime Minister's national address and plans to get rid of VAT on certain items. Those stories plus the day's other news this late night, Monday, January 13th, 2026.
The Bahamas Tonight at 11. The final word starts now.
And we welcome you to the broadcast this Tuesday evening. I'm Corbell Pike. From our big story here at 11, more savings in the pocket appear to be imminent. Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis shared what can be viewed as welcome news to the Bahamian public in his first address for the new year, also touting the accomplishments of his administration that he says has turned downgrades to upgrades and crises into progress. Cleopatra Murphy starts us off here at 11.
Effective April 1st, all foods currently at 5% VAT will be VAT-free.
Bahamians will soon get more relief in the food store after Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis in a national address Monday night announced further value-added tax reductions to food items.
This will apply to fresh fruits and vegetables, baby food, lunch snacks, frozen foods, and other groceries. Everything except prepared meals sold hot or ready to eat.
The change will come into effect exactly 1 year after that initial reduction to 5% took place. The nation's leader in his national address addressed the move as necessary as the cost of feeding a family continues to be a heavy burden.
For too many Bahamians, the pressure at the supermarket checkout is still hitting hard. Our country's dependence on food grown abroad and the way the global economy has become so interconnected has made us too vulnerable to shocks we do not control. From supply chain breakdowns to wars and conflicts thousands of miles away.
He says efforts are being made to grow the country's agricultural sector through investments in hydroponics, empowering our farmers through grants, the buyback program, and others.
These efforts help our farmers and producers find markets and scale up. And they mean we can buy local so we can eat healthier and pay lower prices.
Prime Minister Davis, who detailed efforts to ease the cost of living on Bahamians, also had news for residential homeowners.
We are also expanding property tax relief. Owner-occupied duplexes and triplexes are now eligible for the residential exemption. First-time home owner concessions have been expanded. These are changes which will help more Bahamian families build wealth.
From energy reform to the National School Breakfast Program that has served more than 1,400,000 breakfasts to taxes, Prime Minister Davis says his administration is working to bring relief to Bahamians and will not leave anyone behind. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
And as you just heard, the government is also promising a relief in real property tax. In this next report here tonight at 11, Leah Cooper takes a closer look at what this could mean for Bahamians trying to buy and actually stay in their homes.
Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis is promising relief for homeowners and potentially a shakeup in the local real estate market. As widely reported in his national address on Monday, the Prime Minister announced an expansion of property tax relief, saying that owner-occupied duplexes and triplexes will now qualify for the residential exemption. Further, that the government is expanding concessions for first-time homeowners. It's a move the Prime Minister says is aimed at making home ownership more accessible for Bahamians. But what does this actually mean for the housing market and for people hoping to buy their first home? President of the Bahamas Real Estate Association, Carla Sweeting, welcomes the move.
I think that's a significant move in that a lot of times people will not want to go down the road of buying a duplex or a triplex because they won't get the exemption being a first-time buyer. I know my understanding now is that currently they only get half the exemption if they live in a unit of whether it be a duplex or a triplex.
As Sweeting notes, first-time buyers, though, will benefit most from this break.
Certainly in the economy that we're in now, a lot of people are looking to get into multifamily properties because they can live in a unit and the other units can be what I consider a mortgage helper.
Now, for some property owners, the announcement may bring relief, with many attributing high property taxes as a factor, forcing them to increase rental rates or charge higher fees to tenants. Asks if we could possibly see a decrease, Sweeting says this.
That would be another question I would have for the Prime Minister to clarify whether or not there's going to be full exemption on the annual real property tax for the first-time home buyer, or will it only be on the portion that they're living in?
As the government moves to implement these changes, Sweeting says clarity will be key, from who qualifies to how quickly relief will be applied. For now, the announcement signals a shift in housing policy, one that could reshape both home ownership and the rental market in the months ahead. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Leah Cooper.
Well, the opposition Free National Movement not missing a moment to comment on the Prime Minister's address. In a statement, the party's leader, Michael Pintard, argues that what was presented as reassurance amounted to smoke and mirrors. The address, Mr. Pintard reasons, was also notable for what was not said, pointing to the immigration and crime in the face of already 2 homicides for the new year. Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, the Honorable Philip Davis, to again headline this year's Bahamas Business Outlook, a one-day seminar that brings together movers and shakers in the local business community. The Prime Minister is expected to set the tone for the national economic discourse in a pivotal year. This year's theme is centered around strengthening foundations for long-term prosperity. Among keynote speakers, U.S. Ambassador His Excellency Herschel Walker, as well as representatives from the tourism, technology, finance, and infrastructural sectors. The 35th annual Bahamas Business Outlook takes place this Thursday, January 15th at Bahamar, beginning at 9 in the morning. The business of the House of Assembly resuming this afternoon, with the Davis administration agreeing to and eventually passing a resolution to borrow up to nearly $30 million from the Caribbean Development Bank for the financing of Phase 2 of the Bahamas Water Supply Improvement Project. Moving the resolution, State Minister with responsibility for the Water and Sewerage Corporation, the Honorable Leon Lundy, says this will allow the government to enter into the necessary contractual agreements for Phase 2's financing.
This resolution is about responsibility. It is about ensuring that Bahamians, whether in our capital or in our family islands, can depend on water systems that are reliable, safe, and fit for purpose. Access to potable water is foundational to public health, economic activity, and community stability.
As mentioned, that resolution passed in the House earlier this evening. Phase 1 of the Water Supply Improvement Project began more than a decade ago and saw water improvements throughout New Providence and a number of family islands. Minister Lundy highlighted some key areas this latest phase will address.
This project represents a total investment of $46.99 million, comprising the proposed loan of $17.057 million in counterpart financing from the government of the Bahamas to the Water and Sewage Corporation. It forms part of a deliberate, long-term strategy by this administration to strengthen essential infrastructure through prudent borrowing, strong institutional partnerships, and disciplined execution.
Members of the lower chamber are back in session tomorrow morning. Three-time NBA champion, businessman, and political hopeful Rick Fox has announced his intention to run in the St. James constituency in the upcoming general election. In a lengthy majority rule day social media post, the Bahamian Canadian ambassador at large says his decision comes after deep reflection on issues affecting everyday Bahamians, including the rising cost of living, lack of opportunity, energy security, and constitutional inequality. He claimed that the newly named constituency in Western New Providence holds national importance, pointing to the Clifton Pier Power Station and high electricity costs as a major economic challenge. The political aspirant outlined principles he says will guide his candidacy, including transparency, accountability, lowering the cost of living, youth opportunity, energy reform, and stronger governance. Fox also signaled he's open to running as an independent, stating that the country must come before party. There's more from us this Tuesday night. When we come back, a new legal year has started. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight at 11. That story plus the day's other news on the other side of the break.
Sweet and spicy, marinated right, tossed with chili, garlic and ginger, got many flavors, like honey barbecue.
Signature hot wings, turn up the heat for you. Those pepper wings, what's your flavor?
Roasted garlic parmesan, tastes so good, chicken, you know.
So many flavors to try. What's your flavor? Honey barbecue, sweet and spicy, all new.
Signature hot wings.
What's your flavor?
Roasted garlic parmesan, tastes so good, chicken, you know.
Those pepper wings.
Make your company representative stand out through an embroidery design on your uniforms from Janae's Uniform Center, Chesapeake Road. Janae's utilizes the latest state-of-the-art embroidery technology to monogram large and small quantities of shirts, caps, bags, and other articles. If you don't already have a digitized logo, Janae's can design and digitize your idea and bring it to life. Then install the logo of your choice from their large selections of 27 stock colors of golf shirts in cotton or dry fit, caps, or workwear. Call 394-8385 or 6 or visit www.janaes.com.
For over half a century, we've been more than just an airline. We've been a bridge, connecting families, dreams, and memories across the islands and beyond. Behind every seat sold and every journey planned, there's a dedicated team committed to making air travel affordable and accessible to everyone. At Bahamas Air, we're not just building connections, we're building a safe and dependable airline where quality service is paramount and an excellent travel experience is our priority. Wherever you're going, we're here to take you there with care, with heart, and with the promise of unforgettable journeys. We are family, and just like family, we're committed to taking care of our own. Your Bahamas Air is our Bahamas Air, because here at Bahamas Air, we don't just fly here, we live here.
On to some of the day's other news this late night. Police officers on the ground in North Andros investigating a structural fire in Seaview Park, Nicholstown, right before 6 this morning. Several stalls at the local fish fry were destroyed. We are told when police arrived on scene, they found multiple wooden structures along the northern side of the roadway engulfed in flames. After the fire was eventually brought under control, 5 wooden structures were destroyed. Luckily, though, no injuries have been reported. North Andros and Berry Island's Member of Parliament Leonardo Lightbourne visited the area and confirmed to ZNS News that 4 to 6 individuals are now out of work. He expressed concern for the affected families.
I did reach out to all of those affected, all the owners of the store. I had brief conversations with them. My focus as the Member of Parliament right now to see how best we can get immediate relief for those that are affected. I've also reached out to certain contractors and guys on the ground to help with the demolition and the removal of the structures right away. So you should probably see some of that ongoing today. But however, those affected are devastated. It's a tragedy.
Also here tonight, judges, attorneys, and other legal professionals gathered Sunday morning at St. Francis Xavier Cathedral for the annual Red Mass, marking the start of the legal year. The annual service offers a moment of reflection and prayer for those entrusted with delivering justice across the country throughout the year. Catholic Archbishop Patrick Pinder, leading the service, encouraged those in attendance to stay faithful and compassionate, understanding that they have a vow to protecting the Bahamian people.
Remember that in baptism, we too have heard the Father's call and received the Spirit. Each of us, according to our vocation, is sent to reflect God's justice in the world. May this new legal year be marked by a renewed commitment to justice that is firm yet humane, principled yet merciful. May Christ, the beloved Son, who entered the waters for our sake, guide all who seek to serve the cause of justice, truth, and love.
Supreme Court Registrar Ronaldo Toot noted that regardless of the different positions within the legal field, everyone strives to achieve the same common goal of justice.
Every year, even though we're lawyers, we may be judge, registrar, despite the different terminology or the different positions that we have, we're still guided by the Spirit. So one thing that the Archbishop said inside the services today is that we must also, as attorneys, make sure that we bear compassion for members of the public, for people who may be oppressed, that whether you're the prosecutor or you're a defense counsel, that justice must prevail.
Bahamian culture took over our Waukee this holiday weekend as the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture hosted Culture on the Key, a full day filled with music, art, food, and family fun with Bahamian heritage at its core. With an estimated 30 vendors participating, the event assembled Bahamian creatives, including authors, painters, and musicians, to showcase the pride of Bahamian culture. Assistant Deputy Director of Culture Portia Sands says the event is intentionally held during the majority rule holiday to honor the nation's history while also creating spaces to uplift Bahamian creatives who are an essential part of preserving and promoting our Bahamian cultural identity.
We try to do this activity on Majority Rule Day because culture is basically celebrating who we are. And so we thought it fitting that on Majority Rule Day, we are recognizing and celebrating who we are. We have almost 30 Bahamian authors. They're out here with their books, selling their books, reading excerpts from their books, and generally networking. And people are amazed at the quality of material that we have and how many authors we actually have. And this is just a small number, actually.
Through their books, Bahamian authors Samantha Black and Gia Gibson share stories rooted in local culture, offering young readers a deeper look at who we are, while also keeping the storyline entertaining.
Well, the story is about a tooth fairy that gives out sand dollars to every child that has lost a tooth. And with that sand dollar, they can make a wish. So whatever wish that they want to come true, they can use that sand dollar and make that wish come true.
I want them to understand the importance of the Bahamian culture and to let them also know that, this is something that they can do. They can write books about the Bahamas or, and that they should embrace our culture and they should be proud of our culture as well.
All right, the Bahamas tonight at 11 turns to sports next. Let's go over to Amajal for a preview of what's ahead.
And the top junior sailors in the country compete at the KPMG Winter Youth Regatta. Details of that story and more coming up in sports.
My bills never used to be high. My bills used to be like between $300 to $500. And for it to jump to like $1,000, $2,000, it's like, it got my attention. Something ain't right.
This isn't the first homeowner to raise concerns about the cost of electricity. But in this case, there is more to the story. And that is where an energy audit comes into the picture.
An energy audit is where your technicians would actually go into the house, look at your equipment, in particular, starting with the high energy consumption ones, and we would be able to directly show them some practical ways that they can use to lower their energy bills.
Once on site, the team began a full assessment of the home and quickly identified several red flags. What once was a single residence eventually expanded to become 3 homes on one property, with no upgrades made to the meter box to facilitate increased energy demands.
We're running 3 homes on undersized service, so we advise to try and separate everybody, put everybody on their own meter, upgrade the service because it's very old. It's probably about 50 years old.
Based on our findings, this situation requires immediate attention.
What's next for me now is moving forward, is trying to rectify the problem as soon as possible.
Moments like this show why it's important to prepare before adding appliances or expanding your home.
Try and get an electrician on site to advise you on what you could handle, how much load you could handle on your service without trying to burn down your home.
With guidance from our energy audit team, Jennifer now has a way forward.
Well, I can say BPL has made me proud today. I can say that.
Jennifer's story reminds us that electricity bills don't always tell the full story, and that understanding how our homes use energy is a lesson that we can all learn from.
You've heard of electric cars. Now it's time you drive one. Easy Car Sales welcomes you to experience the power and prestige of the latest electric vehicles. Plug in at home for a 65% discount off your gas bill and never get stuck at the pump again. Build your dreams of a better future with a better car, the BYD EV. Visit easy242.com to book your free test drive today. Save your money while driving in style, only at Easy Car Sales.
Wait, what you grabbing all these pizzas, boy?
Wait, Marcos, wait. We have a special on all the large one topping pizzas, wait.
Pineapple.
All.
Barbecue.
All. Hey, VAT included, but
I need the $10 special plate.
How many would you like?
20 in it.
Thank you so much, man. $10, that's it? The Marcos got that deal, boy.
Welcome to your Tuesday Sports Check, everyone. I am Amajal Knowles, topping sports from over the weekend. Now, the country's premier junior sailors were in action in the Laser, Sunfish, and Optimist classes at the 2026 KPMG Winter Youth Regatta hosted at the Nassau Yacht Club. Over 40 junior sailors hailing from New Providence, Grand Bahama, Long Island, and Harbor Island competing for bragging rights. A look at the winners. Junior Pan Am American gold medalist Eliza Denning was the winner of the ILCA 6 class, while Chase Thompson was the champion in the ILCA 4 division. Taking the hardware in the Sunfish group was the Bahamas National Sailing School's Kai Harvey, and leading the sailors in the Optimist class was Martin S. Cruceria of the Lyford Key Sailing Club. Ralph Dulcio, representing the Bahamas National Sailing School, held on for bragging rights in the Optimist Green Fleet. Laurie Lowe, president of the Bahamas Sailing Association.
Okay, so we got a pretty broad range of competitors out there, everywhere from Eliza Denning, who got our first gold in the Junior Pan Am Games, down to a couple of kids that we have that are from C.W. Sawyer that started sailing in the last 6 months. So we got all kinds, and it's really great to watch them progress. In fact, in the Green Fleet and the Optimist, which is the beginners, the kid that won every race was Ralph Dulcio, and he's from Uriah McPhee. So he's been sailing with us for about 2 or 3 years, and we're very proud, and he's very happy to have won every race.
Yesterday over at Bahamar, day one of the Nassau Cup tennis tournament taking place at the John McEnroe Tennis Center. Over 70 of the best players in the local tennis community taking part, including former and current pros, former college players, as well as advanced club players. Director of Rackets at Bahamar, Deron Donaldson.
The level of competition is pretty high. You have the likes of Rashid Carey. You have former junior national players. You have Nikita Fountain on the court. So you have a lot of top players here, former pros, collegiate players as well on the court. So a great mix of players, and then you have the club level of players. So it's a way to bring the tennis community together, and we love hosting these events here at Bahamas.
Also yesterday, those in the local tennis community used the opportunity to pay their respects to tennis legend Robbie Isaacs, who passed away earlier this month.
Of course, we want to send condolences out to the family of Robbie Isaacs. He's the former director of tennis of Albany, former top player, played in the IC and IC member. So, you know, condolences to his family, Dot Isaacs, his mother's here. Real solemn occasion, but also a way to bring everybody together.
Switching gears in collegiate track news, a record-setting performance for Bahamian sprinter Javonia Valcourt over the weekend at the Clemson Invitational in South Carolina, competing for the Tennessee Volunteers. Valcourt, competing in the women's 300 meters, would run a blistering time of 36.53 seconds, good for the fastest in program history and 13th all-time in NCAA history. Valcourt is in her senior season with Tennessee. From the NBA last night, a pair of Bahamians in action in the association. Rookie phenom BJ Edgecombe and the Sixers facing the Raptors for the second time in as many nights. BJ would flirt with a double-double, posting 15 points and 8 assists and 1 steal over 33 minutes during Monday's 115-102 win. Edgecombe was very efficient from the field and was 2 assists away from that double-double. In his last 5 appearances, he's averaging 13 points, 5 boards, and 7 assists. Over on the West Coast, DeAndre Ayton and the Los Angeles Lakers in Sacramento taking on the Kings. Ayton would log 13 points and 13 boards along with 2 blocks, but that would not be enough as the Lakers, they would fall to the Kings 124-112. Now, although the Lakers were unable to get the dub, Ayton bouncing back from a quiet performance on Friday against Milwaukee. His production has been rather spotty recently as he's averaging 10 points, 8 boards, and 1 block through 28 minutes through 6 games in January. And after 2 days of competition, the lone Bahamian in the field over at the one and only Ocean Club, the Bahamas Golf Classic, bowing out. Cameron Riley would finish up his time 3 under, missing the cut. Up to news time, there would be a 5-way tie at the top spot as Michael Johnson, Logan McAllister, Dylan Menante, Mason Anderson, and Michael Fiegels would all be locked in the top spot at 18 under. We'll have highlights from the final day and award ceremony in a later sportscast. And that's my look at your sports check on this Tuesday. I'm Amajal Knowles, signing out until tomorrow.
Hello? Hi, this is Roger from Fidelity Bank. We've detected a possible breach on your account, so we've placed a temporary hold on pending transactions. Huh? Please check your email and give me your one-time password to confirm.
Ain't nothing happening. Whoa! Remember, Fidelity will never ask for your account details. If in doubt, contact us first. Fidelity Bank, protecting what matters most.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
It's a Holy Frosty Christmas, and Wendy's and Coke is bringing the chill. This year, when you upgrade any Wendy's combo to a large, you can instantly win big with the Upgrade and Win Christmas giveaway. We're talking travel gift cards, gadgets, holiday treats, and prizes that make your Holy Frosty Christmas shine. Just upgrade your favorite lunch combo. Scan the QR code on your receipt to enter and let the holiday magic begin. Enjoy great tasting food and win big this Christmas with Wendy's and Coca-Cola's Upgrade and Win. Rules and restrictions apply.
It's time now to check in with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean for a look at our late night weather forecast. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Carvel. High pressure is in control of our weather. It's producing some moderate breezes across the islands, but there is a frontal system on the way. We're expected to go through the northwest Bahamas on Thursday, and that promises to bring a nice little cool down as we head later into the week. Temperatures around the islands: Marshall, Babico at 72, Green Turkey 70 degrees, Freeport, Grand Bahama 70 degrees, 75 in the Berry Islands, and also Alice and Bimini at 75 degrees. Harbor Island 76, 76 in Rock, Sandy, Lutra, Alderstown, Cat Island, Black Point, Exuma, Camp Space out Andros at 77, Fresh Creek Central Andros at 75 degrees. In San Salvador and Rum Key, the mercury column up to 77, Georgetown, Exuma at 78 degrees, and then we pick up a string of 79s in Ragged Island, Clarence Sound, Long Island, and Crooked Island. Betsy Bay, Magona, and Acklands at 81. The warm spot this evening is Matchy-Town, Inagua at 83 degrees, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 81. And your forecast for tonight, this is how things are going to shape up. Partly cloudy, still pretty cool tonight, 68 degrees for your low temperature. And tomorrow, we're looking at partly sunny and warm with a high temperature climbing up to 81 degrees. And the extended weather forecast, beautiful weather tomorrow, but that will change on Thursday, particularly in the afternoon. That is when we expect the clouds and even some showers to roll in. But that will quickly clear up, as on Friday we're looking at lots of sunshine in the forecast. Short-lived again. Why? Because we have another frontal system pushing through on Saturday that will bring back the gray skies with scattered showers and even some isolated thunderstorms in the mix. Behind that, you'll see temperatures dropping into the low 60s as we head into the early part of next week. Come on.
Thank you so much, Basil, and thank you for being with us. That's our broadcast this late night. I'm Corbell Pye from Farmajal. Basil and our entire team, take care, be well, and remember, we will be looking to see you again right back here tomorrow evening. Good night.
At Harold One, I'm Ted Jervis, and this is ZNS.
A new year.